triumphantly. Grasped in his hand was the red and yellow favour that Wayne wore as Provost of Notting Hill. He had torn it from the place where it had been carried for 25 years. With a shout the West Kensington men closed round Wayne, the great yellow banner flapping over his head. "Where is your favour now, Provost?" cried the West Kensington leader, and a laugh went up. Adam struck at the standard-bearer and brought him reeling forward. As the banner stooped he grasped the yellow folds and tore off a shred. A halberdier struck him on the shoulder, wounding bloodily. "Here is one colour," he cried, pushing the yellow into his belt. "And here," he cried, pointing to his own blood, "here is the other." At the same instant the shock of a sudden and heavy halberd laid the King stunned or dead. In the wild visions of vanishing consciousness he saw again something that belonged to an utterly forgotten time, something that he had seen somewhere long ago in a restaurant. He saw with his swimming eyes, red and yellow, the colours of Nicaragua. Quin did not see the end. Wilson, wild with joy, sprang again at Adam Wayne, and the great sword of Notting Hill was whirled above once more. Then men ducked instinctively at the rushing noise of the sword coming down out of the sky, and Wilson of Bayswater was smashed and wiped down upon the floor like a fly. Nothing was left of him but a wreck. But the blade that had broken him was broken. In dying he had snapped the great sword and the spell of it. The sword of Wayne was broken at the hilt. One rush of the enemy carried Wayne by force against the tree. They were too close to use halberd or even sword. They were breast to breast, even nostril to nostril, but Buck got his dagger free. "Kill him!" he cried in a strange stifled voice. "Kill him, good or bad. He is none of us. Do not be blinded by the face. God, have we not been blinded all along?" And he drew his arm back for a stab and seemed to close his eyes. Wayne did not drop the hand that hung on to the tree branch, but a mighty heave went over his breast, and his whole huge figure like an earthquake over great hills. And with that convulsion of effort he rent the branch out of the tree with the tongues of torn wood, and swaying it once only, he let the splintered club fall on Buck, breaking his neck. The planner of the great road fell face foremost dead, with his dagger in a grip of steel. "For you and me, and for all the brave men, my brother," said Wayne in his strange chant, "there is good wine poured in the inn at the end of the world." The packed men made another lurch or heave towards him. It was almost too dark to fight clearly. He caught hold of the oak again, this time getting his hand into a wide crevice and grasping at, as it were, the bowels of the tree. The whole crowd, numbering some 30 men, made a rush to tear him away from it. They hung on with all their weight and numbers, and nothing stirred. A solitude could not have been stiller than that group of straining men. Then there was a faint sound. "His hand is slipping," cried 2 men in exultation. "You don't know much of him," said another grimly, a man of the old war. "More likely his bone cracks." "It is neither, by God, it is neither," said one of the first 2. "What is it, then?" asked the second. "The tree is falling," he replied. "As the tree falleth, so shall it lie," said Wayne's voice out of the darkness, and it had the same sweet and yet horrible air that it had throughout of coming from a great distance, from before or after the event. Even when he was struggling like an eel or battering like a madman, he spoke like a spectator. "As the tree falleth, so shall it lie," he said. Men have called that a gloomy text. It is the essence of all exultation. I am doing now what I have done all my life, what is the only happiness, what is the only universality. I am clinging to something. Let it fall, and there let it lie. Fools, you go about and see the kingdoms of the earth, and are liberal and wise and cosmopolitan, which is all that the devil can give you, all that he could offer to Christ. only to be spurned away. I am doing what the truly wise do. When a child goes out into the garden and takes hold of a tree, saying, 'Let this tree be all I have,' that moment its roots take hold on hell and its branches on the stars. The joy I have is what the lover knows when a woman is everything. It is what a savage knows when his idol is everything. It is what I know when Notting Hill is everything. I have a city, let it stand or fall." As he spoke the turf lifted itself like a living thing, and out of it rose slowly, like crested serpents, the roots of the oak. Then the great head of the tree, that seemed a green cloud among the grey ones, swept the sky suddenly like a broom, and the whole tree heeled over like a ship, smashing every one in its fall. End of Book 5, Chapter 2.